Everyone, welcome to the final broadcast of the week here. Pre-market prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Hot Stocks, Luke Jacobi with you for the rest of the session. And one word sums up how we're feeling right now. All right, Friday.
Oh, you
Final.
did.
Thank you for indulging us, Spencer.
You are quite welcome, both of you, for indulging you on this Friday afternoon. It's been a rather quiet day in the market. I mean, we are up here about 1.5%, 2% here, Joel. I'll throw it to you, and you can kind of walk
Well,
us
first
through.
I want to know if Hot Stocks Luke, he only comes on like when the market's up and it's, everyone's happy and it's easy and to talk about the markets. Whereas when the markets are getting killed and we're limit downs and stuff, Hot Stocks Luke's he's hiding under his desk. We'll ask him about that when
Joel, I watched the CNBC personalities and I figured out you only talk about your winners. You don't talk about any losers. You talk about your winners and the things that are going well, and then
Okay. They tried to break this market this morning. We failed at the pre-market high. Almost got to that closing price from yesterday, but people's much smarter than me jumped ahead of that 80.75 closing price. We made an intraday low at 82 and a quarter. And once we busted out over that pre-market high, it's been pretty much a wide open territory here. My short-term target here would be the high from Tuesday at 33 and a quarter. Or excuse me, from yesterday. Yesterday we got up to 36.75, believe it or not. And when you're looking at things from the whole week perspective, we had a really strong close on Friday, a strong day on Friday. We kind of lost steam Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday and Thursday. But right now we are poised to post our second highest close of the rebound. And I feel a little bit better about this close because they had to grind their way up. It wasn't like a big gap and go. So to me, extremely impressive day in the market. And I like wherever we're going to close now a heck of a lot better than that close that we had on Friday. A quiet range for crude today, only $2. That ended up 3.5%. The cash closed at 230, but it's currently trading at 1707. Gold had a reversal, ended up down 640 at 1739. Silver in the red by nearly 4 cents at 1532. Bitcoin down $30 at 7,595. Spencer, you want to start out with some of the stocks we covered on the AM show?
I was going to start out with Zoom, actually.
Zoom,
I don't remember if we discussed Zoom this morning, but I want to discuss it now because this is sort of the only real interesting headline that has come out today as far as individual stocks are concerned that I saw. And I'll pull up a 1 minute chart and you can see exactly when this news came out. So the news is not specifically Zoom related, but it is about Facebook, and it could impact Zoom. Facebook announced today a bunch of new features. One of them is a new video calling feature that allows anyone to have free video calls of up to 50 people. If I pull up the chart on ZM, I'll pull up a 1 minute. You can see exactly when the news hit the tape there.
Well, it's been a tremendous run here for Zoom. You took out the all-time high. It was added to the queues, right, yesterday?
Yep, it did get added to the queues.
Yep. So you just had everybody jumping in the pool, reckless abandon. You had the higher open. You went up 180, 150. The only way you'd get that is if you were just like trying to scale out of a large position and throwing out, 5,000 at 180, 5,000 at 180 and a half, or, whatever. Once you reverse and came back down through that open, then everyone wanted out of the pool. Still haven't hit Thursday's low yet at 153.49. Not gonna make it.
Can you zoom out, Spencer?
Beat you to it.
Thank you.
169.09. You're not going to see that, but that'll be a play. That'll be a number for me coming into tomorrow's session, Monday session, to see if we can rebound again to that. 50 is okay, but can Zoom do a lot more than 50?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what the upper limit is. Maybe Luke, you would know. You have more experience, Luke,
They can
with
get pretty
using.
big. I've
With
been on Zoom calls that have had a couple hundred people on them before, like
have you?
conference calls. So it's sort of like live events or shows like we're doing here.
Yeah, and you've
I've been,
also used Microsoft Teams a lot more than I know I have.
Yeah, I think Teams is the best product out there. Out of
You
all
do?
of Teams is an amazing experience. It's super smooth. It's more intuitive. It doesn't feel as clunky. That's my favorite. And Spencer, pull up Facebook too. I know we're looking at Zoom, but look at what
sure.
Facebook did on this news.
Give me a
And-
second. Yeah, nice candle.
Yeah, you can see exactly where that news came out on their chart as well.
Yep, and that had been had been stalling at the 50% area, 180, but it got through there off the snap earnings, and it got through there on Wednesday session and never really looked back, trading near the highs of the session. See if I can find any resistance for you Facebook people here. The next daily high I have is 191.83 if you're looking for a target. Above that, a lot of air up to 197. We're definitely not going to see that. And when do they report?
I'm glad you asked, Joel, because I just looked it up and I knew it was next week. It is the 29th after the close,
Yeah.
so that is Wednesday
Wednesday,
afternoon.
I did put that. I did a little pre-market prep stock of the day. That was a stock of the day a couple days ago, and I said wouldn't want to be shorted in their earnings because strong stocks like this. And also, I look. Do you know? Let's see if one of you guys can guess. How many quarters since they IPO'd in 2012 have they missed on EPS?
Probably not many. I'm
Guess.
not going to look. They IPO'd when? 2012
12.
is
Yep.
okay. So
give me 3. Put me down for 3.
Okay.
I
Spencer,
don't know. I'll say 4. I'll say 4.
Oh,
I don't
come
know.
on, you can't guess that close.
you should have went
I
under, Spencer. They missed for
really?
EPS. Yeah, they
Yeah.
missed out for EPS once, and they've missed for
Wow.
revenues 3 times. And that doesn't mean the street didn't have high, that's just when I looked at the earning. That's one good thing about being on Benzinga Pro. Can you show Pro here real quickly? How when you look at the
I can.
earnings calendar, how it just lays it out for you, a simple guy like me. When I look at earnings and I see green, 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 those are the kind of stocks that I want to own. And when I see red,
That
red,
looks nice.
yeah, take a. Are you doing that?
A lot of green on that screen. You see a lot of
Yeah.
beats, a
Yeah.
lot of beats on the EPS side, a lot of beats on the revenue side. And speaking of Facebook, I'm sorry, Luke, go ahead.
I was going to say all these social media stocks should have good user numbers. I mean, we saw that with Snap. I think everybody thought that would be the case. Snap proved it. And I don't see why that wouldn't be the case for the rest of them.
Yeah, and I was going to go there actually, Snap and Pinterest. I'll pull Pinterest here. Pinterest is blasted off today. I don't know if there's a reason. I think this is just Momo, but it's hot, and I don't know a catalyst that is specific to today.
Relationship
It's all
trading.
relationships.
Yep, that's what Triple D is taught. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But hey, folks, 349. We know what happens at 350 here at the close show. That's when we get our imbalances. We're trading at 28.31. Have had a muted effect as of late, but let's wait. I'm selling 37 or buying 27. Let's see what happens on the bump here. Trading 32.50. Unless everyone's starting to figure out that these imbalances are a fade. Boy, tight. Oh, sell imbalances. Looks like they hit it a little bit. But man, it's holding in there. Yep, selling balances.
There it goes.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we've moved like 3 or 4 points, but
not as pronounced. Not as pronounced.
Nah,
as
man.
it was.
The big boys they're starting to buck up on this, and Jonathan Corpina is calling all the floor brokers, and they're doing a Zoom call, and they're offsetting the imbalances. But there is a notable impact here on the S&Ps on the sell side here. We are starting to lose altitude. Couldn't quite get to Thursday's high at 36.25. So holding off for that target may not be a good idea, but we still have 10 minutes left in the session.
Back to the stocks that we had discussed on the show this morning. What about Intel here? Just a reversal kind of a day.
Yeah. Yep. Dennis talked about buying the dip in this one, right? And you just had some sneaky buyers. It wasn't as apparent as you had on the other day when I mentioned the snap buyer at 14.85, but there were some bids lurking at 55 and a quarter, 55 and a half. You didn't even get there during the regular session. Your low was 56.10, and now you're green on the session. So buy the dip, reign supreme here in Intel.
Yeah. And none of the analysts like the stock either. I'm looking at what price targets came out. You got one at 60, one at 59, and one at 51 after the analyst came out sometime during the day today and updated their forecast.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of we hardly been talking about analyst ratings at all here on the show, but the news that came out yesterday, and Dennis talked about it. If Apple goes to their own processors, I don't know what percentage of that is Intel's business, but I don't know. We'll see what kind of impact it has, but it certainly would not be a good thing for Intel if they lose that business. But we'll see. Buy the dippers reign supreme here, up 2 cents at 59.06.
All right, 8 minutes left here before the close. I want to open the floor up to the chats. If you have any tickers, drop them in there.
Sure.
And we'll take a look. I wanted to look at DKNG. Did I get the ticker right? I did. DraftKings, the first day under the new ticker. I know Joel loves these new issues, but I'll pull it up here.
What is it?
DKNG.
Oh, NG. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's another ticker that Joel can look at, isn't there, Spencer?
Well, it's the ticker. Yeah, the history for the blank check company, which is not relevant for.
I don't want to talk, Spencer. I don't want to talk about this. This stock is banned from the show. Or you could talk about it, but I don't want to talk about it anymore.
All right, because you just don't believe sports are coming back. Got it. All right,
I believe sports are coming back, but I just have a real bad taste in my mouth regarding sports wagering and sports gambling on the internet.
I actually saw some reporting that all of these bookies that normally cover sports have switched over to crazy things like live cooking shows, like who's going to win various cooking competitions that they play on the Food Network channel and stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole legalization gambling. I mean, that's that our listeners don't want to hear about that. Okay.
Wait, this is a good one. I want to look at EWZ, which I've been looking at.
Brazil.
I mean, if I had balls, I would have shorted this thing a month ago when their president was holding rallies, but I don't, and I didn't. But let's look at EWZ here. This is the iShares Brazil ETF.
Yeah, I mean, when did Mark come on and talk about that?
Like a month ago, maybe like a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's moved, and what he's referring to, Luke, is during the whole coronavirus thing, they're still allowing big rallies and stuff, right? And major gatherings and stuff, and who knows? I mean, I don't know. Is there anything good you could say about this chart? I mean, I don't think I'd want to short it in the hole here, but I certainly wouldn't buy it. I'd like to see Brazil get off the mat here, but horrible looking chart, hardly rebounded all and off the lows. So,
and per my understanding, they're just at the beginning of their coronavirus outbreak. It seems like.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. And hopefully they won't get hit hard. S&P just took a nice dip here. I'm keeping an eye out for the sound balances, Spencer. We got to 22.75, but it looks like the bulls are fighting back here. Go to Twitter. One of the few times I use Twitter. TweetDeck. You see anything from Jonathan Corpina yet, or Dennis?
I had pulled it off my screen. I'm sure there is a number out right now.
Okay.
I see over $1 billion to buy, 1.2 billion to buy, so low $1 billion range to buy.
To buy? To
buy? Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. To buy.
Well, there's someone selling, man. Because if there,
I see. All right. Corpina says 50 million to sell. I think this whole trade might be over.
The trade's over. Yeah.
I think I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Well, first he said 6 hours ago. Oh, look at this. Look how it's changing. This is really interesting. 6 hours ago it was 250 million to buy, and ended up 50 million to sell.
6 hours ago, 6 minutes ago.
6 hours, because it says 6H, but that couldn't have been from yesterday. Look on Jonathan's Twitter feed.
I don't know.
That'd be really early for
All
the
right.
imbalance, though.
That I don't know. What
Maybe that
is.
was a
Yeah.
mistake. Anyways, okay. So basically nothing. Little sell off there, coming back. I still think we're gonna have a good close there. What else would you like to cover, Mr. Israel?
Going back to the chat, let's look at Canopy Growth. This is not a name we've talked about for a couple, probably since Brockstein was on a week or so ago. But let's look at CGC, and yeah, whoo,
look at that consolidation station. When do they have earnings?
Don't know. Let's check the handy dandy Benzinga Pro and find
this
out.
thing is, I mean, I could lose so much money trading this because I'd be buying the top of the range and selling the bottom of the range. But folks, this is setting up. I'll throw out that 16.15 high, but I'll say between 14.5 and 15.5. That's your play. Where you at? Oh, you're trying here. This is like a Rob Hood chart where, you're bumping up against the top. You get any kind of good. Maybe I spell an upgrade in this one coming tomorrow. Someone loading the boat with stock here. So it's pressing against the upper band of if you throw out that 1650 high, you can go back all the way to like the middle of the month. Holy moly. Look at this. If they're mopping up that 1550 seller, folks, this thing's really going to go. But yeah, I have no idea top of the trading range.
And these ones as well are another potential coronavirus play. There's not a lot of data that comes out, but the data that has been reported, like the state of Colorado reports some, have shown pretty significant sales increases.
Are they considered a essential? Like, do they get to stay open?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it depends. A different state by state, right? Some states kind of screw that up, and some states have been consistent from the get-go. But
if it's medicinal, I would imagine it would have to be essential in the U.S.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rules are in Canada. I know
exactly,
a lot of these stocks have sales in Canada.
Right, but it depends on whether it's legal for medicinal and recreational purposes, or just medicinal, or what. So
real quick, let's cover this stock from Al Smith. Kohl's. Is it good to buy the dip today? Man, I retail is the sector that you don't know who's going to win and who's going to lose or who's going to survive. I mean, this stock has been in a major downtrend. Hit its all-time high over $80 in 2018. You just made a low of the move yesterday. If you feel like you absolutely have to buy it here, you need to realize the low of the move was 1089. So maybe it's due for a little bit kind of a relief rally here. Where are you trading at? It got hit hard with the market and hardly rebounded. So like if you listen to the morning show, we talk about, stocks, how they are, what their trend was before the virus and after the virus, and they seem to hold pretty true. So unless you have some kind of technical setup that you're looking at, just buy Amazon. Thinking buying retailers, I've been saying this for a long time, just buy Amazon
and Wayfair. I mean, if you look at that chart, I just put up a daily, and it's in breakout city.
Is there news on that today, Spencer?
I didn't honestly look for news on Wayfair. I assumed there wasn't, to be frank. Let me see here. They got an upgrade, or no, not an upgrade. It was a price target raise, which whoop-de-doo, from Stiefel. But they already had a buy on the thing.
I call him Stifle.
All right. Well, Wayfair's in breakout mode regardless here. So
yeah,
office furniture and e-commerce, I guess.
What about the mattress place?
Wait, Luke, what?
I was just going to say, hopping back to the retailers real quick. I think it's like going to be interesting to see how the street reacts to these earnings from the stores that are closed. Like we all know that they're going to have bad numbers. But is it going to be acceptable that they have bad numbers, or are they going to get mad? I think we just don't know that yet. So I'm definitely avoiding these stocks just for
Yeah.
that
A
information.
lot of them are getting a free pass, Luke. I mean, Las Vegas Sands got a free pass yesterday. I think a lot gave some back today. Yeah, look at that. Up $4, down $2. So a lot of them are getting a free pass here. I mean, and it's also, I would be, what's your e-commerce? What percentage of your business comes from the e-commerce with something
Yeah.
like Wayfair? And two things before we go. One was that sleep stock yesterday, SNBR or something.
SNBR. That's a sleep number.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, that it made a new high and then faded. So I don't know. It might be time. I don't like that reversal here under the gap 2670, Luke. But I just want to ask you: are you sticking with your New York Times?
I'm sticking with my New York Times. We got we're a couple weeks out now. It's not next week, but the week after. That's my earnings date.
And what about Ford's? They cut their dividend. You were in it for the dividend.
I was in it. Yeah, the dividend cut doesn't help. In it for the dividend. I think the company's sticking around. It's definitely, not where it was, but hey, off from $4, it's at about $5 now. I'm still taking it.
You're still taking some money? Okay. Who do we got on Monday, Mr. Israel?
Good question, Joel. Let me pull up my calendar here because I don't have it pulled up in front of me. On Monday's show, we got Ryan Craver. Speaking of retail, Ryan Craver is our retail guru, so he'll join the show on Monday, give us his thoughts on all the major retailers here. As far as this weekend, Luke's project is to get himself a new webcam, and that'll be it. So everyone, stay safe wherever you are. Please remember all the information from this broadcast is meant to be used as informational purposes and not for investing or trading advice. Everyone have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe, and we'll talk to you on Monday.